Hey guys, what's going on? This is the time I almost got diddled by a 79-year-old cougar. With that, I hope you're having a wonderful day. If not, that sucks and I'll just do a karate kick to your face. So yeah. So, I know, I'm back to posting. Alright, this is my Storytime channel, the other one's my commentary channel. With that, I'll get into it. So this took place when I was about 14 years old. So prime time to get diddled, alright? I think we could all agree around that. Right, Macaulay Culkin. The allegations came out when he was 14, alright? Just kind of is what it is. So, I was on vacation in Arizona because my dad had a conference, alright? And it was at a water park. Which, water parks are pretty cool, especially in hot places like Arizona. And it was like a really, really nice, like, it was kind of like Hawaii or Mexico, how they have, like kind of like their own little island of things to do, if that makes sense, because it's a desert, alright? It's surrounded by desert. There's a golf course. There's, like, a water park that's only open, like, 3 times a week. And then they have, like, a mini golf course, and then they have a couple other things. So, I mean, I'm just kind of sitting there, right? I'm hanging out on the bed, just kind of being like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, let's go to the water park because it's finally open. So I was like, yeah, well, 100%, let's go to the water park. So we start to walk down to the water park, and you can, like, call Ubers there, but it's like hotel Ubers because they're all on, like, these little golf carts, alright? And keep in mind, there's a bunch of pools everywhere throughout this, like, little resort. Alright, actually, that's the proper name, a resort, not a little island in the middle of the desert. So, like I said, we're taking a golf cart down to this little pool area, and then there's, like, 3 big water slides. One, it's, like, just, like, a 90-degree drop for the most part, and then it, like, goes, like, really slow, and anyway, it's a pretty boring one. It's just a straight drop. And then there's one that's a little bit longer, and then there's, like, a little kiddie one. Alright, so I do that a couple times. I go on every single one like 4 times because there's no one there except for, like, old people. Old people or, like, 30-year-olds because there was a conference. So I'm like, I'm kind of bored. You know what? I'm going to go try to find a cute girl to talk to because I'm 14 or 15 at the time. So I'm, like, looking around trying to find a victim. Sorry, not victim. Someone to find. Someone I can find love with. Alright. And all of a sudden I see this, like, blonde girl. She's in the shade, so I can't really tell, like, how tall she is or how old she is, but she's wrinkleless, alright? And that's a green flag for me, because I'm like, okay, they're playing basketball, so they're probably around 13, right? 13, 14, because that's how old I was at the time, like I said. Or, sorry, 14, 15. I don't really remember how old I was, to be 100% honest with you guys. And so I start talking to this lady, or, sorry, I walk up to her, I'm like, hey, can I play basketball? She turns around. From the back, she looks like she could be 14, alright? She could be in my range. Nope, she's 60, sorry, yeah, she's about 67, 70, 73. So she's moving pretty good, to be honest with you. She's about as old as my grandma. And so I'm like, hey, you want to play basketball? Because I'm like, you know what, why not? So me and her, we start playing pig, and then eventually these, like, 2 other kids show up, and they're I think boyfriend or girlfriend, but they're, like, the same age as us. So I was like, okay, well, that girl's already taken, which kind of sucks. Oh well. So I'm just kind of playing, and all of a sudden this grandma, she, like, starts, like, she was, like, boxing me out, but, like, well, there was some intent behind that, if you know what I mean. All right, she was trying to get a reaction. If you get what I'm throwing down, all right, this is maybe a little less PG-13 than I'd like it to be, but she was trying, to, I guess, cop a feel, maybe. All right, she's trying to be like Michael Jackson, Macaulay Culkin. All right, I'm a victim, and I'll be honest, I was okay with being a victim. All right, I was like, you know what, experience is experience. All right, and you gotta learn from the best, which is old people. All right, because old people at nursing homes, they be having fun. She wasn't quite nursing home age, but she was, go to rodeos and sell necklaces and lemonade age, which is around, 70, 60, 64. Right. Anyway, so eventually I'm like, hey, do you want to go on the lazy river? She's like, oh my god, I would love to go on the lazy river with you. And I was like, okay, alright, I got some game. Alright, and at the time, I was starting to have a glow up because I had, like, really short hair, and I was starting to grow it out. I was starting to skate. I was building a little bit of muscle. No, I'm just kidding. I had like anorexic abs. All right, I looked like Pete Davidson. I had that physique, but like 5 foot like 8, and I was like, I really hope I can grow. Anyway, I'm 6'2", and I don't think I'm gonna grow anymore. Which hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's better than most people have. So we start going on the lazy river, and we go around like 4 times. It's like, I don't know, 30 minutes, and eventually I realize I'm going past my parents, which is my mom, my dad, and my brother. Right? My brother's off, like, I don't even, sorry, my dad is doing something. I don't really know. He wasn't there. He was, like, I think at the bars on, I don't really know. Anyway, so my brother's, like, looking at me, and he starts laughing. He pokes my mom and points at me. He's like, oh my god, do you see who he's with? And I'm just like, I wave to him, like, hi. And so eventually, they, the older grandma, she starts to, kind of get closer and closer to me, and it gets to the point where she's like, "Hey, do you want to share the same, do you want to share the same little boat, or not boat, but the inner tube?" It's like, "Okay." She's like, "I'll be on top." I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't really mind. I was like, whatever. So, eventually, we go around, and my mom went to the bathroom. Thank God, because she didn't see. And then eventually, on the second time we went around, she's like, the grandma that's on top of me was like, she talked to like somebody. She went out to get a drink. She came back, and then she grabbed her other inner tube, and like she kind of swam, got kind of closer to me, and we're just floating down, chilling out. And then eventually she's like, "Hey, can I get your number, or can I get your Facebook or something?" I was like, "Oh, I don't have Facebook, but you got my number." She's like, "Oh yeah, she's cool. She might try to do something, but it is what it is. Experience is experience." All right, I'm a 14-year-old boy at this time. It's a strange time in everybody's life. So, this is when it gets really interesting. So, eventually, I walk back to my hotel room with my mom. My mom's like, "Do you have their phone number?" It's like, never. I would never give an old person my phone number. That's a lie. I'm sorry, Mama, but if you're seeing this, that was a complete lie. Alright, and so, eventually, I was like, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show up to the pool, because my cousin showed up. I was like, "Hey, yeah, do you guys want to meet up? You want to hang out at the pool?" So I meet up at the pool. We hanging out. I told my cousin, "Hey, you should go someplace else. Let me go. I found this sorry, I just had a little bit of a stroke. This cool girl, and it was pretty cool. All right, so how about you come hang out someplace else while I hang out with this cool girl?" So I call up the grandma. I'm like, "Hey, you want to hang out? I'm swimming." So me and her hang out for a little bit. She's like, "Hey, come to the adult pool with me. No one's there." So I was like, "Okay." We go to the adult pool, and we're just kind of sitting there hanging out. And then she's like, "Hey, let's go in the hot tub." In my mind, I was like, "Are you sure you want to go in the hot tub? I mean, your face is already a little bit wrinkly. Not super wrinkly, but a little bit." So eventually, I don't say that, but we sit down in the hot tub. It's like the 2 guys 5 feet apart, because it's not gay type thing, type beat like that, right? Because she's across the hot tub, and I sit across from her. She's like, "Come on, sit closer." I was like, "Okay." So I scoot over just a little bit, and then she's like, "No, closer." And she swims over. She like sits like right next to me, like we're like our butts are touching kind of close, right? She puts her hand on my thigh. I'm like, "Oh," I stand up, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, my mom called me." And I just walked. And I've never seen her again. She never contacted me. She probably had a heart attack or something. That's the whole entire story. I hope you had a wonderful day. With that, like and subscribe, or else, I'll do a kickflip and might hit your grandma. That's how the risk is going. Alright.